Alright guys, good evening everyone. This is just another video. And if you guys know, my name is Ferry Navarro. I am the Drama King, where life is drama, drama is life. And I know it's been talked about recently and it's been trending on YouTube. And it is the This is Paris documentary. And I'll be honest with you guys, I did anticipate this for a while now, and even watching it on her channel, I was able to at least get a chance to watch it on my own. And I definitely do admit though, I definitely did learn a lot, and even though we already know who Paris Hilton is, right? From being a hotel heiress, The Simple Life, which one? Me and my brother grew up watching The Simple Life, especially when back when Nicole Richie and Paris Hilton were BFFs. I remember watching the first five, the first the whole Simple Life show from back when it was aired on Fox, and then it was on E. But it definitely, overall, definitely Paris Hilton did play an impact on pop culture, and even becoming one of the first ever influencer, which is called nowadays. Back then, and even becoming the term famous for being famous, especially being an heiress from from the Hilton family. But overall, though, Paris Hilton, she definitely made a name for herself, and even becoming a very successful businesswoman, launching both clothing, skincare, shoe, shoes, hotels, DJ gigs, and so much more. But definitely growing up, watching, especially watching Paris Hilton, even from her successes from her to her personal troubles. But definitely, This Is Paris definitely put things into perspective, and definitely shows a side to her, like that, like we do see, but like we are not, that we don't want to open up and see. But if you guys get what I mean, if you guys don't, I definitely totally understand though. But especially, we all have to give credit though. We have to give Paris Hilton the credit she deserves. Because of that, because of Paris Hilton, we would never have a lot of these influencers at all. Because one, she definitely helped pave the way, especially from leaving school and even partying and so much though. But behind everything though, we definitely see that there's more to Paris than what we think, especially being the daughter of a Hilton and going through a lot. I definitely do understand Paris a little more now, and especially watching her interviews with Naomi Campbell, with the No Filter with Naomi, which one I definitely do like it though, and I definitely like enjoy it though, especially for those who are still in quarantine. And also just seeing that there's a lot that we can realize, even though she may come from money and things like that though. But there's a lot though that we usually don't want to see, and those realizing, wow. One thing that I've also noticed is also, for those who did watch the documentary itself, especially the relationship she had, and I remember she talked about all the abusive relationships she dealt with, especially from physical scars, and definitely does realize, like, oh man. And there was also a scene, where I saw with the laptop, with the broken laptop, and how her exes would throw them at her. I'm like, and the fact that she still kept him, I'm like, wow. Another thing that I've also noticed is her boyfriend. I don't know if they're together anymore, but if she's no longer with him, that means the good thing is she dodged a bullet. But definitely just the way he acted before she started her gig, I was just like, yo, really, like, and man. And another thing though is her persona, which one we all know her from That's Hot. bracelets, living, but in reality though she also uses her in reality though she uses her the more natural voice where like she can express more of who she really is as someone and realize even though like we all see her from the dumb blonde persona as many of us would recall, but the more older I get the more I realize like she's definitely out there, like she's a smart woman, she is like hustling non-stop, and the fact that she is doing really well financially and just becoming a strong-minded businesswoman, and even her voice in general, though there's a lot more from what we think we see to realizing that behind that though she went through a lot. And another thing that I've also noticed though, when she uses her real voice, that's when like you really see, wow, that there's more to her than what you think. And even though you don't have to be the biggest fan of Paris Hilton, and hey, I definitely understand from your parts though, but we have to understand though, if there wasn't no Kim Kardashian, there would be no Paris Hilton. But behind another thing that I completely need to mention as of now is the things she went through and the abuse she dealt with in that school that she talked about, which was Provo, and it's in Utah, and I'm gonna find it. It is Provo Canyon School, and the fact that she went through it, through being even spied, medicated, and just being locked, I'm just like, oh, I'm like, oh fuck. Wow. And the fact that the parents like didn't know about it or pretended not to know, and the fact that the mom hired two people to take her out and involuntarily, I'm like, whoa. That kind of like really like breaks, that really does break your heart a bit, because I'm like, you kind of now understand a little more why. And even from the experiences from from the boot camp or the emotional school that they said, and the fact that she was slapped on and the fact she had to run away, it's like, wow. And even though she was doing a lot at the time, she was skipping school and many things like that though, and rebelling. But just the experiences from those two places alone, I'm just like, wow. And even though like I've never experienced this at all, and I know for the, and even just watching it, I'm like, you think that there's a cure, but only to find out that the cure is worse than when you were in before, and it's like, wow. Only if like there was better communication, just more understanding though, but realizing like what Paris went through, I'm like, man. But also one thing that was interesting, like right near the end though, that I definitely do give credit to, is the fact that she was able to reunite with former classmates from that school, Provo Canyon School, and even like just conversing about the things they dealt with, and even creating a bit of a campaign to like to definitely help heal this. I don't know if it's still going on and things like that, but hopefully it definitely does raise eyebrows from those who have went through these schools who are supposed to like discipline, but instead do the opposite. And that for me is just like, wow. That is crazy. That even school, like, it's not even a safe place. Wow. Especially with so much going on at the moment. But definitely, like, realizes, like, that, like, But it's also really sad that it's just the family's lack of or thereof. And it's from the parents' side, and just the fact that the mom didn't, or just, man, I'm sorry, like I'm just running out of words from that. It was like, oh man. Even from wealth and everything like that, though, it doesn't bring any happiness. Money doesn't bring any happiness, but hopefully Paris does get the help that she needs, and only to realize that she can no longer trust anyone. I'm just like, and then after the school, she finally branched out and like started becoming her own person. And even when she talked about that photo shoot she did, like around Vanity Fair, she finally was like saying it was like a major FU to those who did her wrong. And even though she went through so much, even after the experiences, though, definitely says a lot. And she also did talk about the infamous sex tape, and even how her ex, Rick Solomon, shot it without her knowing. I'm just like, wow. Even looking back, though, I'm like, man. But even though it did cause a lot of problems here and there, but she was able to bounce. She bounced back from that, and in spite of what you think of her or what you see from her, or realize what a you know what, but as he her as a bimbo, but deep down though, like just like I repeated earlier, you have to give her credit where credit is due, because one, she was also like the first ever influencer from the especially coming from the 2000s, and the fact that she was able to make an empire this big, which expanded through Europe, Asia, South America, Mexico, and just all over the world, though, it just like says, wow. And remember that she's also very she was also very huge in Mexico as well, and she's also has helped out as well, especially helping out with the community as well. Which that we can't, even her contributions, her work like that, we cannot take that away from her. And even though like what she went through was just like, wow. And I really hope one day this Paris does heal from this, and I really do give her, Paris Hilton, my respects even more now. And at the end though, whatever you think of her, like, you definitely have to also realize that like she's just like all of us. She's just like you and me, even though she makes a lot of money and things like that though. But even from all that baggage, so we realize that we're not all perfect, and that we're all gonna have experiences and stories to tell. And this is why the reason why I created this channel is just to realize that there's always a story behind everything. And I really wanted to know, guys, what do you guys think of this documentary, though? I definitely want people to give it a chance, though. Especially to like realize that there's more to Paris Hilton. I know there's also a uncut version on YouTube Premium if you guys want to watch it or pay to watch it. And overall, though, what were you guys' thoughts on the documentary itself? Did you learn a lot? Did you learn from her? Did you guys love it or loathe it? And overall, though, like learning from watching it as well, what are your thoughts on Paris Hilton from when you first had an impression of her till now? But overall, though, like she definitely made an empire, but behind that, though, you can tell she went through a lot of experiences, though. And even though she does bounce back, though, but hopefully, like hopefully her and the people who went through this get the help they deserve. And hopefully there's an investigation starting about these schools, Provo Canyon schools, and hopefully though, they like, especially when I hear cases of word hood, and I know I'm being off topic though, and hopefully though they get investigated though, because if there's still abuse, if there's abuse, which I believe, which I know there is, from these provision from these schools, I really do hope that they do get investigated and that they do shut down. As they say, that the troubling teen industry is a lucrative industry in itself. It's crazy. All right, then enough. All right, and but I really do hope that there's healing from this, and hopefully parents do know about the abuses that go on in schools in general. But overall though, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. If you have any thoughts, comments, or concerns regarding this Paris, please comment down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And I just recently put the video out on the drama The Ordinary Glory, and also see the 2 videos on adaptations from Mulan and Street Food, Latin America. And just give it a chance though, and hopefully have a wonderful night. Take care of yourself, stay safe, and just remember though, sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite. Alright, see you on the next one.